Boruto episode 93, Parent and Child Day. This was actually a pretty good episode. We get to see Himiwari, which is always a great bonus. Maybe that's what it was. I was just blinded by the infinite cuteness that is that little girl. But it was a fun episode. I shouldn't say it was fun. It was just a good episode. It was like, all right, so we get to see, for one, Naruto is in it the whole episode. So that's always a bonus too. Like, we basically get to see two characters that never show up in the actual series. So that was really entertaining. Himawari is really never in the show outside of like very specific moments. So it was good that she got like an entire episode focused on her and Naruto working together. We actually see Kiba show up in this episode. We see Tenten actually has like a speaking role in this episode too. So we get to see quite a few characters that just like are never in this show, which was great. We see Akamaru, we see Akemaru, or however you're supposed to pronounce that difference there. So I guess that would be Akamaru's son. Who's also orange. I thought that was interesting that he came out a different color. But I thought that was cool. We get to see characters that we never really get to see. It's really just a wholesome episode. And it was just a decent episode where we get to see characters come in. Ino was in it as well. We see a couple other characters in the background, so they're going to pop up in the next episode, which is based on Choji and Chocho doing the eating contest. I skipped to the end of that episode. I haven't watched the episode, but I was like, I want to see what, the actual next week's episode is going to be. And of course, it focuses on more, I won't say who specifically in case you guys aren't caught up either, but it focuses more on the parent-child day. So we're going to get a couple episodes in this. And I was debating, I was like, do I want to kind of do it as like its own thing, like just the parent-child day stuff? But I was like, I'd have to wait, a couple weeks, and I'll just do it episode by episode. But this first one, definitely a good one. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy the eating contest episode with Choji and Chocho. It should at least be funny, I would hope. But there's also a bunch more characters in it, so it won't have like that big, deep focus. I would love to see more about Chocho's mom, considering I don't remember her name, but of course her being from the land of Hidden in the Clouds, I think is their thing, the land of thunder. I always forget how it is, like the village of thunder or the village of cloud. I forget how the ranking goes for that, like the clouds and the thunder. But I always thought it was cool. It's like, okay, so Choji ended up with her. And that's how they end up having Chocho. So hopefully we'll get some more content from characters that we haven't seen. Obviously, Choji being in the episode means we'll see more of Choji. They showed Shikadai in the promo for next week's or for the next episode. So I'm looking forward to all that stuff. But I don't know if it'll be as entertaining as this one. I think this episode itself, with the focus of it being on two characters that we never get to see, that we probably want to see more than anyone else, which is Naruto, of course, because it's Naruto. And then Himawari, who we just never really get to see from. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a really good episode because of that. And their funny journey going across the village and Naruto being a good dad. It's one of those things. It's funny, I read a comment where somebody mentioned like, I'd hate these type of episodes if it was in Naruto, but in Boruto it's actually a great episode because the whole thing around Naruto in this series is that he's never there. So it was actually great to see him be there for his daughter, and he's he's super tired and stuff, and she's like, oh, yeah, let's just go later. But he sees on the paper that it's like super limited and stuff, and so he slaps his face and he's like, hey, let's get out of here, let's go get it right now, because he was doing that for his daughter. So I thought that was really sweet. It's just a dad being a great dad, which was kind of like the whole point, is that he was not that in the beginning of the series and from Boruto's perspective. So I was really happy to see that. I just like the way it played out. Like I said, Kiba coming in, that was really good. The comedy stuff around it, like the beginning where Naruto just doesn't realize that it's Shikaku and not Kurama, which I just thought was super funny. So I just love that. And then that's the reason that Kurama decided not to help Naruto towards the end of the episode when he's chasing the guy down, because Naruto's technically like running on fumes. So he summons the shadow clones, and every time he does it, they fall asleep. Which, it was funny that when he did it the second time, I was like, he should probably just do that, because based on technically what we learned in Shippuden with the shadow clones, where once they disappear you learn what they did. I think I don't know if he would actually get the full rest, and I don't think it transfers like that, because he obviously doesn't feel the pain they feel when they die. But I was like, if they slept, would he get that full rest? Would he know what it feels like mentally? Like, would that be like a weird placebo effect, or mentally he'd be like, oh, I'm fully awake, but technically his body isn't? I don't know, but that was something I thought. I was like, maybe he should just let his clones sleep. He can only pull out two, and both of them are passed out as soon as they spawn. So, like, just let them sleep, I guess, and then see what happens. See if you actually feel rested when they disappear. But he goes to Kurama. He's like, I'm not helping you, and you basically just you couldn't even recognize me. 9 tails, orange, brown dude with one tail. nah, I'm not helping. And then he's like, you should do it yourself anyway because it's for your daughter. And he's like, you're right. Because he was about to destroy that guy, which admittedly, in my head, I was like, that's all he needs to do anyway. Boom, he's caught in 2 seconds. And they actually, they at least do that because there's been a bunch of moments. I mean, for instance, even in this episode, well, he was tired. So, like they show the shadow clones couldn't even wake up. But that's always been the thing from the beginning of the series. Like, he's got like unlimited power pretty much. Just shadow clone a dude yourself, and then just one clone can sign all that stuff. Like, or just boom, get a bunch of clones, set up a desk somewhere, like just do it in a hallway, and you'd be like, everyone, here's all my clones, boom, you're good to go. Just it's gonna be an infinite complaint. Like we're all gonna have that same complaint because it's just like he could easily do it all the time. Like he wouldn't be as tired if he actually used the chakra to do the things that are making him tired. Like oddly enough, if he just did it, just used his abilities, he wouldn't be tired and he'd be done way faster. So stupid stuff like that. But anyway, they at least touched on it. The fact that he could, he was going to actually use the Nine Tails chakra since he didn't have much of his own since he was so tired. But he catches the guy. We find out that the guy actually stole it because he was actually on a mission in like a bordering country. And he basically snuck back to the village to get this figure for his son because he never gets to see his child anymore. So that's where like the super wholesome part comes in because Himiwari was there with Kiba. And she actually picks up the toy and hands it to the little kid. And he's like, thanks, big sis. And Naruto says, like, from now on, like, I'm ending your mission to go, like, way out wherever you are. And you'll just be on guard duty at the gate. And Kiba has to let the guy realize, like, he's doing that because that'll allow you to stay in the village so that you can be there for your son. And it was this nice emotional little moment. And Himawari, being this young girl, she did, like, this really mature act. So it was a great little, emotional moment there. And then, of course, they have it, where it all wraps up and they're, just kind of walking into the sunset sort of deal. And she's like, I had a great day because you were here. And it was just, a wholesome, nice, cute little ending. So, personally, enjoyed the episode. It was just one of those filler episodes where it was like, all right, I'm going into it. That's really why I didn't watch it, even after I was catching up on everything. And I did, like, my big review for, like, the end of the last arc. I was like, I'll just wait because it seems like it's just going to be a filler. That's not going to mean anything. And in a sense, it doesn't. But it was a good episode. And every once in a while, they hit us with some fillers where it's like, that's actually entertaining. Because I think the other one, if I remember correctly, like the old filler with, I think it was Iwabe and Denki, when they were doing the test, it was technically like a filler. But that was a good episode from what I remember. And then there were some others, couple of little fillers we've had that have actually been fairly entertaining too. So this I would throw in there in a different way. Of course, it was just like the wholesome, cute thing. It's like, Himawari is just super cute. So it was awesome to see her like the whole episode. It was like, awesome. Don't have to look at Boruto too much. He's in there, of course. He runs into Shino, which was super funny. It was like, if anyone would be like the otaku collector out of all the original characters, it just makes sense that it would be Shino. And it was his test to see how children feel with like brand new toys and stuff like that, which I thought was funny. And then we see some of the other characters in the background where he's like, oh, maybe kids his age feel embarrassed to hang out with their parents. And as soon as he says that, we see like Shikamaru, Shikamaru, Sai, and Rock Lee walking with their 3 kids, and they're just all together, and obviously they're the same age as Boruto. So it was Shino being like, maybe that's why he's not with his dad, and that's totally not the case. So I thought that was an interesting little thing for them to throw in. I don't know if that'll have like any real impact. I would assume with the series being called Boruto, after, I don't know, I guess the episode that's coming up this week, maybe it'll go back to Boruto and something will happen, because they're basically reversing time, because this was like the whole day with Naruto and Himawari, and then the next episode is still during that same day, so it's just what's happening throughout the village. So maybe throughout these episodes we'll see what's going on with Boruto's story, because he tells Naruto like, I'm going to train, and that's exactly what he says to Shino. But after he talked to Naruto, Boruto was just walking around just looking at everyone, and he was seemingly like sad that he wasn't spending time with his dad, but he's the one that made that choice. And it was probably for his sister, but he was still the one that made that choice, because he could have still been with them that whole day. So it'll be interesting to see what his story like culminates to throughout these next couple of episodes, because I think that's kind of the point, is to be like, here's our main character, he's saying he's doing this, and we kind of have to piece it together by the end of, I guess, this hopefully tiny filler arc. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. But like I said, for this episode, I enjoyed it. I like getting to see Naruto, of course. I like getting to see Himawari. I would have liked to have seen Hinata, because they did mention her once, like when Kiba showed up and it was like, you don't remember me and stuff like that. And I was like, where is Hinata at? Like, the whole point was that the village was like having this big holiday thing where parents hang out, with their kids, and Hinata was like nowhere to be found. And I understand the point of it was to be like, hey, here's Naruto, just Naruto, doing basically what Boruto says he's never there to do, which is be a dad. So I got why, but it was still just like, who else doesn't ever show up in this series? Hinata. So I was kind of like, man, where is she at? Like, I would love to see her. So maybe she'll end up being with Boruto, which I think would be great too, because we don't really see it often. Outside of their house, we never actually see Hinata really interact with the kids or anything like that. Like, that's really where the kids get interacted with both Naruto and Hinata for the most part. And Naruto, of course, being the Hokage, he's outside in the village, so sometimes they're in the office too. So that's why we see that more often. But we never see Hinata outside. I think we've only seen it once, and it was during the Boruto movie arc, where basically she went to hug him or something, like before he leaves with Naruto and stuff like that, and they watch him like go through the portal. And I think that's legitimately the only time outside of, actually, yeah, just the Boruto arc, because of course them being in the exams, same thing, like they were watching the kids, but it was like, yeah, of course they'd be there. So outside of like those 2 points, I can't think of a single time where Hinata was like outside of the house and she actually interacted with the kids. Like, maybe there was one other time when Boruto went to see Hanabi. I don't remember if Hinata went with him or if he went. I think he may have gone by himself, so I don't really remember. But yeah, Hinata's like never outside of the house. Like, that just dawned on me. Like, she's legitimately never outside of the house anymore. So super weird. But I hope we get that. In this mini weird little filler arc of the parent-child day. Hopefully we see more of Hinata, because it definitely came up like in the middle of the episode when they had Kiba show up. I was like, where is she? Where in the world is she at? And I think it may have been Shino that mentioned it, like, why aren't you with Naruto and Hinata, or like, where are they at? I think he was the one that said it. And so it was just like, where is she at? Like, she's just vanished. Like, they were talking about it like the night before, and I think she did something. I now that I think about it, I feel like she left, and that's why they were there. She left to do something, and that's why the kids were there waiting for Naruto. But now I can't remember, because I didn't think about it until like just now, and I was like, I didn't pay that much attention to that scene. But now it's like, what in the world was happening there? I can't remember. So either way, it's weird. Like, what the heck? Like, they didn't have Hinata in it, but hopefully that happens. Later down the line, she's the one who ends up finding Boruto as he's kind of sulking around. He's like, I didn't want to admit to that I wanted to spend time with him. So we get to see Hinata spend time with Boruto, which, once again, a new dynamic is always entertaining. Hopefully, is always entertaining. So maybe that'll come up in a few episodes. But good start to, like I said, what I hope is really a small little piece of the puzzle, and they aren't going to make this like a whole arc, like in one day, like the kids spending time with their parents. Cool to see the the older characters as adults, because we don't get that a lot in the show, but I don't care that much. I don't want it to be like super crazy where it's like 2 months or something, like we get 8 freaking episodes of this parent-child day. I really hope that that's not the case, unless they're going to be some insanely, surprisingly epic episodes. I really hope they don't do that to us, but ultimately we just have to wait and see. But for this episode, it's a good start. Of course, I would love to know what you guys thought about it, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, least favorite parts about it. And with them going forward, with this parent-teacher day, I would love to know what characters you guys would like to see. If you're watching this and you're caught up with the most recent episode, then you know what the newest episode is going to be. So that's something that I would personally say, like, oh, that's something I would have wanted to see, but that's already happening. So I am looking forward to that. Obviously, I can't say exactly what that is for anyone who's watching it, watching this review as you go through the episodes, but a certain combination of characters is coming up. I pretty much want to see all the characters that we never get to see. Like, I would actually like to have seen Ino be the one out with the kids. Like, we've seen Sai a bunch. Like, same with Shikamaru. We've seen Shikamaru out because he's with Naruto all the time, so the two of them being there in the show isn't super special. Like, I would love to basically see the moms pop up, and that's pretty much it. Like, we see the dads way more than we see the moms outside of Hinata, because, obviously Naruto being the Hokage, Shikamaru's always with him. Sai is still doing combat stuff. Ino is the one that's, running the shop. We see Sakura quite a bit, so I guess for Sakura and Sasuke, I guess it's almost kind of split down the middle a little bit. Like, they're both they're there, but then they're gone for like giant chunks of episodes. So I guess it's almost exactly the same for them. It's kind of split even. But yeah, we don't really get to see the moms very often. So I would love to see that. Especially considering Shikamaru is, of course, with Tamari, and Tamari's like gets super pissed all the time. I would just like to see that in general because I always loved her character, so I would like to see that, her being the angry mom, which is super still funny to me because it's the same as Shikamaru's mom and stuff like that, where it's like, he ended up with someone like his mom, which they say that's the whole thing. You always end up with someone like your parents. But would love to see Tamari. Would love to see with the kids. Would love to see. Well, like I said, with Sakura, it's kind of the same thing. Like it's kind of split down the middle, but would love to see the moms in general, especially Chocho's mom. With the next episode coming up, I want to see way more Chocho's mom because we know like nothing about her character. Like ever since the Shippuden series, even then she was in it, and I always thought she was cool. Like her and the other dude who had the katana, I thought they were a cool team, and I loved their design. And then they were kind of gone. Like even during the fight, I feel during the Great Ninja War, like once Darui came in, everyone else from the village was like nothing. It was Darui, of course. Killer Bee was number one because he had the 8 tails. Then Darui, and then the Raikage. Those are like the 3. And then the other characters that did exist, they were just like poof, like get out of here. It was like the one blonde woman, and then I don't know if they were even brother and sister, but obviously Chocho's mom and the guy that was always with her, they just like vanished. After once the Ninja War came in, it was like, all right, we had these 3 characters, get rid of them, and then show these 3 characters, and that was it for the rest of the series. Like they had elements, except for the one woman, the blonde woman. I don't remember what the heck happened to her. She was like really gone, but I want to see more of the parents or more of the mothers, I should say specifically. But other than that, hopefully this is just short. Hopefully all the episodes are entertaining, but who in the world knows? But either way, definitely want to know what combinations you guys would like to see from this mini arc or whatever, however many episodes we're going to be getting. And like I said, definitely want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.